Well, hello. It is Thursday evening. It is Caz and Daz show time. With risky to do that in Greg. My name is Darren Paul, alongside the Manchester Magic media empire builder over there up in Manchester. It's Caz Bullock. How you doing, buddy?
It is. I'm good. I'm building an empire. I'm all in for May Madness because as last week's was in May, this next week of May has been even more mad.
Yeah.
The WBBL have done some great branding there because this has lived up to their expectations.
They have. It looks great. I've got to say, I'm very impressed with the job they've done in Leicester. Yeah. Now, obviously, with me, I'm gonna have a moan about it, but it looks beautiful. They've done an amazing job. Aesthetically, I don't know if basketball in this country has ever looked this good. I said it.
Yeah, it's out there.
Yeah,
it looks good.
It looks phenomenal. My question is, why couldn't we do this for the other games? Like slap up a big sheet, bit of uplighting, boom, happy days. I don't know. It's probably way more complicated than that, but still, it'd have been nice. But still, it looks stunning. Good job, everybody involved.
I'll get some lights down to the Manchester Basketball Centre in a couple of weeks, and we'll be just recreating that, don't it?
I mean, it looks way better than WBBL did. WNBA did.
Mm-hmm.
Which I have as like my benchmark for, is it better or worse than this?
Yeah.
I loved how it looked. It was just like clean. Right. So you're getting excited about that.
Yeah.
I was getting excitedly talk about Sonic as well, and I can't remember what the heck it was.
Was it the WNBA season countdown?
Probably, maybe.
And the Asia Wilson.
I love Asia Wilson. Not even an Aces fan.
A little bit though. A little bit of an Aces fan.
Listen, I am an impartial media man. Who, it's a little soft spot there. Okay. Before we dive into all that fun stuff, we must first revisit this just horror show. The sad eyes. Let's dive into WNBL Team of the Week. No sad eyes here. It is the final regular season one this season, and if we're doing one for the first round of the playoffs, we'll let you know. This week's Player of the Week is Paula Puzul of the Barking Abbey London Lions. 21 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, a 25 efficiency. A very good overall day from Paula Puzul. It gets more impressive when we discuss context, and you know we love context here on the Caz and Daz show. Let me tell you the context. I'm going to go back to the graphic. The context is they had to beat Worcester to confirm their spot in the playoffs. That was it. Like, win and you're in, lose and you're probably out. In fact, no, you'd be definitely out. So not only did they win the game, and handsomely, by the way, it was about 31 points. She hit 7 of 10 from behind the arc in an elimination game. 7 of 10 from 3. Paula Puzul, that is an outrageous performance. Congratulations. You are the Team of the Week's Player of the Week for the final time in the regular season. McConnell Stone, ever present, 20 points, 14 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, 20 efficiency. I don't know what more needs to be said there. If her, Robin Ainge, and Katie Janaszewska can play to their potential, they are going to be giving teams big issues. It's going to be exciting to see. Esther Little of Ipswich, 12 points, 17 rebounds, 4 assists, 6 blocks, a 30 efficiency. Just a beautiful stat line from Esther Little in an absolute demolition job of Reading. That is a scary victory over Reading. They beat them by 41 points. Reading were held to 37. That is enormous. And this is a Reading Rockets team that, whilst they've been a bit up and down at times, they are way better than 37 points. So not entirely sure what the crack was there. It'd be interesting to see how they go in the playoffs. Molly Lavin of the Cola Southwark Pride, 16 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 5 steals, 26 efficiency. This was in the win over the Worcester Wolves on Sunday. And Izzy Ozzy Mamadou, 22 points, 14 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 32 efficiency on Saturday against Team Silent Kestrels. I think over the weekend, Izzy Ozzy Mamadou, how many offensive rebounds did you pull down? 9 offensive rebounds across the 2 games, which I enjoyed. A couple of honourable mentions. Ezekiela Lisk of Thames Valley Cavaliers, 15, 9 and 1. Isabel Bunyan, 19, 12 with a 28 efficiency. Caris Roy, also of Cardiff, 13, 14, 27 efficiency. And Leia Edwards, 19 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 28 efficiency. So some really impressive performances. Caris Roy and Isabel Bunyan, to me, are 2 of the most exciting players in basketball. Young players in basketball. Let's not get too ahead of myself. Up there with KJ, and obviously Esther. Those 4, huge futures if they want it. So that was the team of the week. So congratulations to all in the team of the week. Now I'm gonna dive straight into the standings, and I'm not gonna do it in the slightly low budget way we usually do, because I copy and pasted. Now, this weekend was absurd. Yes, there was change basically from anyone from 1st to 9th position. 2nd to 9th position could have changed. That's awesome. That's got big implications. But the story is 7, 8, 9, because that was all that mattered going into this weekend. For me, because I like simple stories, whatever. Barking Abbey London Lions, Thames Valley Cavaliers, Worcester Wolves. It was do or die for these 3 teams about getting into the playoffs. Any one of the 3 could have missed out. So Barking Abbey, they actually had the simplest or at least most straightforward job. Beat Worcester, you've got the head-to-head on the other 2. You're going to be into the playoffs. And unless Worcester beat Thames Valley, you're also going to have the 7th seed, as they ended up having. Awesome. Thames Valley Cavaliers had a tough-ish task. They had to sweep against the Cardiff Met Archers. They did that. They won both their games. Saturday was close. Sunday was less close. Excellent performance then. Worcester, they knew what they had to do. They'd lost to Barking Abbey. They had to win against, who was it? It was Cola at home. And it absolutely did not happen for them, unfortunately. They were beaten badly. Like Worcester, I don't want to say the wheels have come off because that is really unfair, but they're very banged up. And the team that we saw at the start of the season that went on that incredible run, that were riding high at the top of the WNBL standings and have been in the playoff positions the whole way through until the final day of the regular season, they're not that team, unfortunately. They've had a couple of amazing performances, like Inma Bautista, who's tried to put the team on their back. And she's been in team of the week for good reason, because she's been putting up some incredible performances this season. But unfortunately, the lack of bodies, essentially, and losing your best players, it takes its toll, and they've unfortunately missed out on the playoffs. So we have the 8. The other huge story for me, and tell me what you think, Caz. Cola Southwark Pride are 2nd in the WNBL Division 1. A 13-4 record. So that's super impressive. And they've got the 2nd seed. Now, what does that mean? Why do we care about who finishes 2nd? Well, if you finish 2nd and you make it through your first playoff game, which is at home, you get to play your 2nd playoff game at home. I've commentated a playoff semi-final at home, and it really helps. It really, really helps the team playing at home. So that's huge. That's huge for Cola. So they will have now the WNBL, dare I say, has a sensible bracket situation. So 8 plays 1, 7 plays 2, 6 plays 3, 4 plays 5. And then the winner of 4 and 5 plays 1. The winner of 6, 7 plays 2. Okay? Assuming that 1 and 2 make it through. So Kohler, assuming they get by Barking Abbey London Lions, will face either who would they face? They'd face either they play 4-5, don't they? No, they play Loughborough or Reading. There we go. I'm going with that. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Caz, what has stood out to you from this final regular season weekend in the Women's National Basketball League?
Like you say, Kohler just taking that second position and just pushing up past Loughborough. That's, they've done a great job. And what can you just flip back again? Do the games this week, can that change, or is that set?
For what now? The standings?
The second seed.
No, that's it.
They have it. Okay.
They got the 2. We are into the playoff picture. We're into the playoffs. Playoffs begin this week. Why am I double second guessing myself here? Let's just be sensible, right? So yeah, we've got Ipswich Thames Valley. That is on Saturday at 2 p.m. So also Saturday at 2 p.m. is Team Sonic Kestrels taking on the Nottingham Trent University. That is going to be a really interesting game. Depending which version of those two teams turn up, we're either going to get a very one-sided affair, or we're going to get an incredible end-to-end festive ridiculousness. And I mean that both positively. No, I just mean it positively. Like, we can either get a really one-sided game, because we've seen that from both sides this year. Sometimes you've just not seen the teams that you expect to see. And then sometimes you've seen absolutely what you expect to see. Like, NTU, they took Loughborough to the wire this week. I mean, could you say they should have won it? Maybe. Because they had the lead with about 50 seconds left, I think it was. And then ended up sending McCartney to the line, and McCartney at the line is just, you're done. Loughborough taking on Reading. That's a fascinating matchup, because Reading soundly beat Loughborough a few weeks ago. But then Reading got absolutely decimated by Ipswich this weekend. So, I mean, make of that what you will. That's going to go one of about 3 different ways, same as the TSK NTU game. And then you've got Kohler Suffolk Pride taking on Barking Abbey London Lions. That one's at 3 p.m. and the Loughborough Reading game is at 2:30. So Saturday, huge game of women's basketball. Can't wait for it. I mean, Ipswich, Thames Valley, who have you got going through there?
Ipswich.
Yeah, I think that's not an unfair thing to say. I mean, if Thames Valley do it, oh my goodness, that would be the story of the millennium. Let's go to the other seed, Pride, Barking Abbey. If you got Kohler or Barking Abbey?
Kohler.
Yeah, I got Kohler as well. Again, I don't think there's anything controversial about that. I think Kohler Suffolk Pride have been fantastic this year. I mean, I really liked what I saw when they played against Anglia Ruskin live in person. I've liked a lot of what I've seen. At home, they pushed Ipswich really, really close to overtime. Away, didn't quite get it cooking, but still, they look decent in spells. They've had a great year. Thames Valley, no, sorry, not Thames Valley. Team Sonic Kestrels taking on the Nottingham Trent University. Who have you got?
I'm going to go Nottingham.
I'm leaning Nottingham. But again, let's look at these records, what we've got.
I think it's going to be close. It's going to be a second scenario, this one. I think this is going to be the end-to-end.
I hope so. I really hope so. There's not a lot in it. They've got a very close points differential. Yeah, Nottingham have scored a few more points, conceded a few more points. Yeah, and obviously lost one extra game. Yeah, I lean Nottingham. I think on their day, both teams are very good, but I think when Nottingham want to, they can really turn it on and they can really hurt big teams like you saw with Ipswich. And Team Solent, they've not been the same of late. So I'm going to go Nottingham for that one, which is technically an upset, but not really. Loughborough, Reading. This is the one, isn't it? I think for me, this is the game of the 4. Who've you got?
Loughborough. Say.
I think so too. I'd expect a up for it KJ, an up for it Robin Age, and an up for it McConnell Stone to be good enough to get past Reading. I think it's going to be really close. And if Reading win, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be super surprised. It's one of those where you're like, yeah, I can see that happening. Yeah. Feasible. But again, look, I mean, there's been a couple of occasions this season where, I mean, it shows in the standings, Loughborough at third, where Loughborough just kind of haven't turned up. And you're just looking at me like, that's a weird result. So, yeah.
Yeah, there's been a couple like that.
Right. So there you go. That is the league done to rights. I think we haven't done award season. The WNBL haven't really done award season yet. They've got the voting and stuff at the moment, so they're doing all of that good business. But yeah, we've not finalised our awards, so we'll do that at some point down the road. Mark Hanson Morris, I know you're watching this. I don't know you're watching this.
He should.
You're going to come on. You're going to dress up fancy.
Okay. At some point this year, he'll do that.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. Right. Where do you want to go, Caz?
Should we go into the madness of the WBBL playoffs?
Let's do it. Where is my boom? May Madness. Let's get the full graphic. Flames. All right, May Madness. It is upon us, and it is a madness. Would you like to see the WBBL bracket?
I would.
What happened here? Sevenoaks 72, Newcastle Eagles 79. The 5:30 game on a Friday evening, might I add. 72-79. Sevenoaks are out. They have been knocked out of the playoffs. And, I mean, I'm shocked. I'm very surprised.
By the 7th seed.
By the 7th seed. Just, I don't know. I couldn't believe it when I saw it.
It was amazing, and I was watching that game. I nearly turned that off. I was speaking to my mum, and I was like, Sevenoaks are up 13 in the third. I think this is probably over. I'd got a lot to do. I was like, I might switch it off, and I'm so glad I didn't, because what a game! Like what a game! Newcastle have not only knocked off the 2nd seed in Leicester, they've then gone, that's not enough for us. Let's knock off the 1st seed and take ourselves to the WBBL playoff finals, where we face the 3rd seed. Why not try and knock them off as well?
Why not?
What an absolute underdog story. It's just amazing, isn't it? Like, no, the Newcastle team that started the season, they'd had lots of injury issues, some roster issues. They've lost players. And to come into the playoffs and just like tornado their way through these teams that have lost. Sevenoaks didn't lose a game they lost 1 league game all season. Leicester lost 2.
Yeah.
And Newcastle, Allison Garrell, 22 points. She had a triple-double, 22 points, 12 rebounds and an assist. And that last assist came on a huge 3 by Maddie McVicker, who'd had a very quiet second half until she hit that shot. And it just pushed Newcastle over the edge. It was just such a really complete team game from them. And they just look like they're having fun. And there was, I think it was Rachel Bland had posted something saying they've essentially got everything to gain and nothing to lose, because no one expected them to be there. No one expected them to beat Sevenoaks. No one expected them to beat Leicester. So they're just going out and they're having fun. And Alison Garrell said at halftime, this could be the last 20 minutes we play together as a team this season. Let's just go out and enjoy it. And they went out and they enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, major style. What do you think was how do I phrase it? How did they win? How did this happen?
So when I've watched Sevenoaks before, they're the team that Sevenoaks do everything right. And you have to capitalize on their mistakes. If they make a mistake and you don't score from it, stop them on the next play, you've wasted the opportunity, and Sevenoaks will come back and come back and get you for that.
And that is exactly what we saw when Leicester beat them a couple of weeks ago, and we were texting about, that second half was a bit of an alarm for them, and it turned out to be.
Yeah. And Newcastle were able to do that, and Sevenoaks look tired. They're just sort of physically tired. But I mean, think about the end of their schedule as well. Towards the end of the season, they were playing something ridiculous like 4 games in 6 days or 5 games in 6 days, and I just wonder if maybe that caught up with them a little bit, and they'd not played. They'd had the early game on, was it last Saturday? So they'd had 6 days. They probably had a few days off, but they'll have practice and stuff. But they just looked kind of
they practiced a lot during the week. Yeah, they practiced their normal practice schedule.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, and great teams like you were saying, great teams like Sevenoaks that haven't lost a game or have lost 1 game this season, they have that target on their backs as well. Every team wants to be the team that knocks them off. And there's probably, it probably gives Newcastle a little bit of extra fire as well. The fact that going into it, everyone had counted them out as well. And they were just playing absolutely fired up. And it worked. It worked. Their 3-pointers as well. Their 3 shooting was, I haven't got the figure with me, but
as a team?
Yeah, team wise, yeah.
50%, Newcastle 50%.
Right.
Sevenoaks 30%.
And that pushed them over a little bit. Then they had to hit some really clutch threes. And it's not, is it? But they just capitalised off every Sevenoaks mistake, and they saw it through. I mean, Kat Carr hit a massive 3 with, I think, around 2 minutes to go. It was close constantly in that fourth quarter. If anyone hasn't seen it, go and watch it. Watch it, if you can't watch the whole game, just watch the fourth quarter for some just amazing basketball. Abby Lowe was great as well for Newcastle, 20 points, 8 rebounds and assists. And something else which I didn't notice at the time, and when I went back and looked, Newcastle had a 6-player rotation. They had crazy.
To be fair, Sevenoaks had a 7-player rotation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They had a 6-player rotation plus Katrin Kuhlman played 3 minutes and 6 seconds. So they both shrunk the rotation right down. But again, Sevenoaks did that last time pretty much as well.
Yeah.
40 minutes from Kat Carr and Irene Garrido Perez.
I mean, Kat Carr.
Oh, sorry, Irene. My apologies.
Newcastle held them to 12 points in the third quarter as well, which very few teams will have done this season.
I would guess that's their lowest quarter of the season. I don't know for sure, but I would make that guess.
I think they had one other 12-point one. It may have been London or Leicester.
Do you reckon that's the Leicester loss?
I think it could be. Yeah.
Let me check that. Just out of interest, now we spoke about tired and fatigue. In April, the month of April, Sevenoaks played 12 games. Newcastle played 6. So it's just interesting to look at that difference. Oh, there we are.
It is completely, and there's so many, and sometimes having a break can be detrimental before you're going into the playoffs. A bit like we probably saw in the WNBA last season, because you're maybe out of that rhythm, and when it's a 1-game series and you've just got to turn up, play, you've not been playing, that can sometimes you're better to have been playing lots of games and going into it. And with it being a 1-game series, the nature of it can just be what goes right on the day, isn't it? It's
the second half that we keep talking about. They had 18 points against Leicester in that second half.
In the whole half.
In the whole half, yep, 11 and 7.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Right, so that would be their lowest one. Yeah.
And KJ, top scorer with 16 points for Riders. Go on, KJ. Sorry, we're big KJ fans here.
And some good news for Newcastle as well. Ori Chukwuetu will be back for the final, because she's missed the last few games, and she is. That's a big plus for them to have back. I really like her. I think she defends really well.
So let's look at our final. Let's bring the bracket back up, because I didn't steal this graphic from the internet for no reason. Credit to, as always, our favorite website, Eurobasket.com. Big shout, Eurobasket.com. No, I wanted to look at that. Where'd it go? There it is. Barclay London Lions. They dispatched Nottingham 77-68.
Yes.
Much to say about that one, Cass?
So there was a little bit of a scare a few minutes in. Cassie Breen went down with that non-contact injury. She hit her head, and it looked to be, it was in Worcester, and I think everyone was just like, oh, don't let this be the same thing that happened with Joyner 3 minutes into the trophy final. But she did manage, she came back, and she was actually second top scorer for them with 16 points. Fraser Egrova for Nottingham had an amazing game, 19 points and 13 rebounds. One of the really, really good young players in this league. Chelsea Shumpert did what Chelsea Shumpert does, 22 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists. But London just had a bit more. The second half of that game, London just kind of ran away with it. Shanice Beckford-Norton, 18 points and 4 rebounds. They're pleased to get into the final. I think Mark Clark said afterwards it was a more normal game for Kennedy Leonard. Not normal by Kennedy Leonard standards, but normal in the sense that, people would see that and be like, okay, that's a standard game. But I mean, she had 14. That's a reasonable. Yeah, that's a reasonable 14, 9 and 9 is a normal game. So they've got a lot that they want to prove going into that final again after their record last year. Everything they've done this year, winning the trophy, having a complete turnaround from the 0-16 season last year. They're third, and the Newcastle coach said, they'll play anyone, but it would kind of be nice to play London, as they hadn't beaten them yet this year. So that's big. That's big chat. That's big chat. No, I like it though. You want to play the best, don't you? And you want to beat the best teams. And if London finish third, they're in theory the best. And also for your Newcastle, you knock off the second, first, and third seed. Whew.
Yeah, no, absolutely. As Ric Flair told us, to be the man, you got to beat the man. Exactly. No, getting ahead of myself there. I'm prepping things for ahead of time. I need to delete some of this stuff. Who do you see going over in the final? Wow, using more wrestling terminology.
So I just feel like Newcastle have this amazing momentum, and what a Cinderella story if Newcastle do it. And I love London. I've loved watching London, but I can't not get behind Newcastle. Though the only thing that concerns me a bit with Newcastle is inside against players like, is Paige Robinson back now? I should have checked that earlier.
Ooh, let me double check.
So for me, shooting wise, 3-point shooting wise, they can match up. They're fine. They match together. No one's got an obscene advantage.
Yeah. Paige Robinson Miller. She's listed on Eurobasket. That's what she's listed in Eurobasket. Played 13 minutes in the game. Is she rested? She's not rested that. No, she's just. I'm going to check that. Anyway, sorry, carry on.
So that would be my concern, that Newcastle maybe don't match up as well inside with Paige. Paige might not dominate. she might not be challenged as much inside, but so that might be where the difference is. But at 3-point shooting, Allison Garrell, Kennedy Leonard coming up against one another. I think it's going to be really close, and I've got to say I think Newcastle are going to edge it just because of the way they're playing. And it'd be really fun for a 7th seed to do it. Like, I just think it'd be really fun.
Would it be really fun?
I think it would be fun. What would not be fun about it?
I don't know. I'm just being messy.
Like, it wouldn't be fun if you're London or if you're a fan of London. Yeah. But if you're a neutral fan going into this game, you're Newcastle. You've got to be Newcastle all the way. But
Well,
Kennedy didn't.
Cool.
Kennedy Leonard. We had some awards.
What? Jeez, you're jumping the gun here.
Sorry.
Jumping the gun. Oh, I'm not even going to bother getting into this preview business.
So Kennedy Leonard.
I just want to have a moan for a second.
Yeah.
Just bear with 10 seconds. WBBL website. Your preview FIBA live stats preview thing is abysmal because you're not telling me who won 61-72 when these two sides met on the 21st of February, year of the Fox 2021. What
Nobody
is
knows.
that? That is rubbish. I'm sorry to say it. Up your game. You don't know what I'm talking about right now if you don't see this, but geez, man, that is so bad. Apologies. We had awards. I was going to say last year, Pablo Cheeks, the fantastic Plymouth Raiders commentator, tried to bury me, accusing me of being a London Lions fan, which I've still got that video clip and it makes me laugh every time I see it. So yeah, I don't know. I haven't commentated the men's side all year. Be nice to see them both at finals day, and
yeah.
Would it be nice to see them both pick up silverware? I think it would be cool. I think it would be pretty neat. I think it would be cool for two organisations or two teams of the same organisation to win.
And also, if London get through, London will play Newcastle, and London will also play Newcastle.
That's what I want. I want that. That is what I want. Okay.
But if Newcastle win in the WBBL, so you've had Leicester winning the cup, you've had Sevenoaks winning the league, London winning the trophy, you could have Newcastle winning the playoff final. 4 different teams with 4 different.
That'd be something. Has that ever happened before? I doubt it.
I'm going to say no. I've no basis for that other than it just seems like it wouldn't have happened. Let's ask Dave Owen.
I don't think it has happened.
It would be quite unusual because usually, if you're winning the league, you're usually in the playoffs or
not in the WBBL. Well, actually, no, Sevenoaks.
Yeah.
Because the first couple of years didn't Nottingham win the league like 3 times on the spin and then win nothing else.
Did they?
Yeah, because their first cup triumph was actually their last bit of silverware. Was the cup final in 2018? 2018, I want to say. Right, we have had awards. Let's go with the Molten WBBL Defensive Team of the Year. We've got Nottingham Wildcats, Jasmine Joyner, Kennedy Leonard of the London Lions. We've got Azania Stewart of the Leicester Riders, Shanique Beckford Norton of the London Lions, and Ella Clark, also of the Leicester Riders. They are your Defensive Team of the Year, presented by Molten. What do you make of it?
I like it. I think it's I think it's good. The Jasmine Joyner is an absolute force on defense, and I don't know how many games she played before she got injured. She's played over half the season, hasn't she? Because it was late early April, I think. She's an absolute menace on defense. Nobody wants to go up against her, and I'm pleased she's in that, and it's not been discounted because of her injury or anything. It's
an interesting one because you've got Joyner injury, you've got Azania Stewart joined late, and you've got Ella Clark, who's been splitting time playing 2 pro sports. Ella Clark, you're amazing. I don't know. I just find it interesting. I'm not saying anything about it. I'm just saying interesting. The Team of the Year, as voted on by coaches or head coaches, we've got Kat Carr of the Sevenoaks Suns. Any argument there?
Nope.
No. Allison Gurrell, Newcastle Eagles.
Can I just say about Kat Carr? I feel like people like Kat Carr does what Kat Carr does, and maybe it's not flashy, so people don't always kind of shout about it. But she's so consistent. She's so consistently good.
I mean, I'm ready to have the conversation of, is she the best WBBL player of all time?
She's up there.
I'm ready to have that conversation. I don't know if I've got her as number 1, but she's in the running. We've got Alison Gurrell, the Newcastle Eagles, the leading scorer, 23.6 points per game. Just absurd.
Do you know who held her to 9.5 points, though? Sophia Song.
Oh, yeah, in a half, right. And what did she do in the other half?
Well, maybe Sophia was switched off her in the second half.
What did she do in the second half, Caz?
No, she was switched off her in the second half.
And what did she do?
She went and scored a total of 22 points in the game.
Oh, there you go.
But I was praising Sophia Song's defense.
Sophia Song on the best defensive threat is what I'm hearing there. Is she back next year, Sophia Song?
I do not know, but I am campaigning for her to be.
Let's do that. Let's campaign for her to stay somewhere in British basketball.
Mostly in the Manchester area, though.
That's right. I mean, Sheffield.
I mean, Manchester for the Mystics.
Oh, Manchester for the Mystics, right. No.
So Sophia Song back with the Mystics.
Imagine but try this out, right? Imagine on the 7 Oaks Suns.
But then I couldn't see her every week.
I mean, if you move to Kent,
I could watch it, couldn't I? Yeah.
You can. What about rest of this team of the year? Caz keeps sidelining it. Kennedy Leonard of the London Lions, Holly Winterburn of the Leicester Riders, and Cassie Breen, also of the London Lions. Cassie Breen.
Like there's no arguments with any of that.
No. Let's just move on. Holly Winterburn is the Young Player of the Year for the 3rd time. It's just super impressive. She's awesome. She's in Team of the Year. She's defensive. Not defensive. She's Young Player of the Year. And
she so on Twitter she has said, thanks for the awards, awesome, blah blah. Here's a list of young players that I think are really great and that you should watch, which I just think is fantastic.
I love that. That was really cool. That was really, really cool. I like that a lot. Big shout to KJ, as always. So she won it in 17-18, 18-19. Last year there was no award and she was playing in America. And then wins it again. I think this might be her last attempt at it.
Yeah, I think she'll be too old next season.
Is it an under? Yeah,
20. She's passed it. She's passed it for Young Player of the Year.
She ages out of the award category. Now, the Basketball Journalists Association have also made their awards. This is voted on by basketball journalists in the Basketball Journalists Association. It kind of is what it says. Anyway, you got 3 players on a ballot that you could choose. You picked 3 players, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. And the winner was Kennedy Leonard, because of course it was. Because she has been the best player this league this season. Averaging 15 points, 11.3 assists. Vander who? No. And 3.9 steals a game. Ridiculous. That's absurd. I didn't realize the steals were quite that high. That's just outrageous. She said, I'm very humbled to receive this prestigious BJA Women's Player of the Year award. To be honored by journalists, photographers, and videographers makes it all the more special, particularly in a year with all the challenges that this one has presented. She also goes on to say that I'm so thankful for my family, my faith, and all the people who've helped me to get to this moment. I'm so blessed to play with my Lions teammates who have become like family, and to supported by coaches and the entire Lions and Barking Abbey organization. She came top of the standings. The GB International broke the WBBL single game assist record with 21 against Caledonia Pride. Oh man, I remember that. That was absurd. That was just ridiculous. And she has surpassed the assist record mark set by George Jones of 178 in a season. She has made 261 assists this season.
Can we get a breakdown of it? When we saw the Chicago Sky one to Courtney Vandersloot, can we get a breakdown as to the players she's passing it to? Who wants to sit and do that?
Dave, got a job for you. That is wild. 261 assists in a season.
And is that just regular
in an 18-game season? I need to check in with John as to what exactly they've counted that. The first recipient of the Player of the Year award, Kat Carr of the 7X Suns, came 2nd, and Holly Winterburn came in 3rd. So there you go. That is your top 3. And once again, there can be absolutely no argument about that top 3. That top 3. Well, actually, there could be an argument. I don't think there can be much of an argument. I think that is the top 3.
You could argue and be wrong. Like,
yes, you could absolutely argue and be wrong. There is another award in the BJA awards, and it's not.
Was it?
Well, it is. I mean, Gino Crandall won the men's award, so big shout, Gino. You've been awesome this year. David Ulf also came second in the British Player Award to Ashley Hamilton. But we're here for women's basketball. Now, there is the BJA have an award for the Sid Lipsky International Award for Top British Performer on the global stage. And this season it went to, and now when I voted on this, I'd forgotten that it is a male and female award. It's just any Brit abroad, right? Rhea Venezia's Temi Fagbenle. Woo! Temi Fagbenle has been an absolute boss this year, averaging 8.9 points and 6.1 rebounds in Euro Cup and bossing it in the league as well. Second was Ovisoko of Le Mans. And, he came third. Ovisoko came third. And Kylie Samuelson of Femerias Avenida finished second in the ballot. So, again, thank you, John Hobbs, for the press release. And, yeah, there you go. They are the BJA awards. We will have WNBL FocusHoops WNBL awards. We'll see about WBBL awards. I don't know. Right. We have a question from Chester Donnelly. In the WBBL, how many teams play without a big? And could a team play in Europe without a big, or they need to bring a player in? How many teams play without a big? That's a good question. Caz, you've seen every team up close this year. Who looked particularly on the dinky side?
Manchester.
What is Hannah Shaw, if not a big?
That's true, yes. 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 Yeah, there's big and there's big, isn't there?
Yeah.
There's Azania Stewart big and maybe like a smaller big, if that makes sense. I think that the traditional big, as you're saying, a team couldn't play in Europe without one. Like they would just get decimated. You need a big. Which I think so Joyner, Jasmine Joyner and Azania Stewart, bigs but different styles of big, aren't they? Like both very physical. Who hasn't got a big? I think most of them have.
Yeah, nobody's jumping out to me as not having a big.
Yeah.
And what's the Durham big situation?
I was trying to think of the teams that struggled sort of rebounding, and Manchester was one of those.
You've got like is she the tallest player in the league?
Hannah.
Yeah.
Isn't Azania taller?
Oh, maybe. I'm waiting for Dave's website to double check.
They're probably the same height. I don't want to do them a disservice. But yeah, I think. Sorry.
Yeah, go on.
Watching the Manchester Magic game actually on Saturday, they have some big players and a player playing the big position, who Tom Major, I believe his surname was. He's very tall and he's not sort of built like the other ones, but he was just going after the ball constantly and he was just really hustling. And I think we've seen in both the men's game and the women's game, the way bigs play has just changed, when traditionally it used to be under the basket, get in and rebound, but you've got big players now who are going to step out and shoot the three. But you still need a big to compete in Europe or with anyone really.
So Azania Stewart is an inch taller than Paige Robinson, Hannah Shaw, and Elise Tweedy. She stands at 6'5". Ella Clark is listed as a forward, but she's big. Let me see. Are we classifying Claire Paxton's game as big?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then no, I think everybody plays with a big.
But then if you put a Paxton against Azania Stewart, they're different kinds of bigs, aren't they? They're kind of not the same.
I mean, you put anybody next to Azania Stewart, and it's not quite the same. Let's be honest. Oh, the crazier Costa averaging 10.6 rebounds per game. That's awesome. Sorry, just thought I'd highlight that. If you didn't have to win in Europe, you need a proper talented big. To have any kind of success, to even win games in Europe, you need to have a very good big. Because look at who you're going up against. You're going up against Natasha Howard in Eurocup. You're going up against
Griner, Jonquil Jones.
Well, in EuroLeague you've got Jonquil Jones and Brittany Griner. But in Eurocup, which is realistically where a British team would probably enter, I can't see them going EuroLeague straight off the bat. You'd be going up against Dawana Bonner, Natasha Howard. Who else? I mean, Temi Fagbenle. Have I said Temi? Just to name a few. So yeah, you'd need to get somebody a bit special. You would ideally, you'd want somebody with WNBA experience. Now, do British teams have WNBA money?
Probably not.
That's a big question. But they do have access to some of the best universities on the planet. So something's about that. Yes. So there we go. That is Height Corner. Thanks, Chester, for your question. Any more questions, please get them in. So I think that is, are we done for WBBL? Is there anything more? Any more for any more?
So I was going to pick a game of the week for WBBL, but there's only one game and everyone should watch it. So game of the week is the final on Sunday at 3 p.m. I believe. Caz,
you've done me dirty there. You've done me rotten.
Sorry.
I say to you. Let me just check this.
The men's game
it is 3 p.m. 3 p.m. There you go. It should be the main event game, but it isn't. So.
I've got a little criticism about this as well. So the little schedule that was out with all the games and all the times and everything, they've all gone. So there's a BBL column, WBBL column, time, birth. So first game coincides, second game, it all goes all the way through until you get to the final, when it flips it round and has the women's game second. So reading the schedule thing, it makes it look like the women's game should be at 5:30, but they flipped it for the final. I think that's cheeky.
That's I'm going to go with odd on that one.
It's odd. I've not described that very well at all, but if anyone's seen it, you can just go back and look. You'll understand what I mean.
All right. Shall we take a moment to hear from our partners, Notch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it.
From our sponsors, Notch, the mark of achievement, and we are very glad to have them on board with FocusHoops this year. They make fantastic bracelets that look super stylish and really help you celebrate your sporting achievement. They've just launched a basketball collection and we're really excited to be on board with them. Let's imagine that you're a player, let's say that you're Courtney Vandersloot. You got 18 assists in a single ball game and you want a notch and a bracelet to commemorate that fact. Well, you can do just that. Customize it to your team colors, put the year that you achieved it, and get it the exact size that you need. There are a number of the colors available. Or maybe you're a coach. Maybe you're the coach of a basketball team. Let's just say that you're the London Tyrannosaurus Rex. Your team wears red. You had the league's most valuable player, the MVP, and you want to celebrate that. You want to award them with a great looking notch bracelet. Well, you can do just that. And you can get it saying MVP on the notch itself. That's the charm. You can get the colour you want. Gold is one that I'd go for if we're commemorating the best player in the league. We could even get the team logo, if it's the Tyrannosaurus Rex, let's say, on there. And present it in a beautiful presentation case. Huge thanks for Notch for coming on board FocusHoops.
Hey, welcome back. It is the Caz and Daz show on FocusHoops. Caz, you've got something to say?
There is 2 hours, 1 hour, 10 minutes until the NBA, WNBA trade. The cuts have to be made for the teams.
Thanks for that.
It's very tense. Roster cuts is what I'm trying to say. Roster cuts will be made in the next hour and 10 minutes.
Thank you, Cazzy B. on the roster cut beat. We will have more on that in just a moment. I want to just spotlight again. I want to plug something. I want to plug the Cambridge Endurance Sports podcast, hosted by Ben. I don't know what he goes by, so I'm just going to say Ben. Really, really interesting podcast if you are into all things endurance sports. It says here that the latest episode was with John Morley. I know he interviewed Louis Rolfe, Paralympic legend, cycling hero Louis Rolfe. He's got Paralympic gold. He's got world championships. I think he's got a world record. I could be wrong. And I think not most importantly, but very importantly of all, he's a super nice guy. Super nice guy. And he's also got some award from the Queen. That's not disrespectful to me. I don't remember the order. So I think it is it an OBE? Do you start off with an OBE or an MBE?
Oh, I'm not the person to ask. I don't know.
Hang on. Let me. I've butchered this. Louis Rolfe.
MBE sounds fancier.
Louis Rolfe MBE. He is Louis Rolfe MBE. So awesome. So that episode should have just landed wherever you get your podcast. Check it out. The Cambridge Endurance Sports Podcast, hosted by Ben, who is a lovely chap. And yeah, they've got Louis Rolfe on. So you want to hear from Louis, because Louis, I mean, the career of this guy is outrageous. Like, he's just stunning, just awesome. He picked up I don't want to spoil anything here. He picked up competitive cycling in like the last couple of months of high school.
Oh wow!
And then he transitioned to that, and within a very short order, he was in like national team contention, GB elite squad, and went to the next Olympic Games. And just awesome, or Paralympic Games, I suppose. 3 p.m. on a Sunday is an excellent tip-off time. It is, but you know what could be more excellent? The main event tip-off time, and I stand by that. So there we go. Caz, where do you want to go, bud?
Should we go to Europe?
Are we going to Caz's Corner?
Let's go to Caz's Corner.
Oh.
Let's do it. Ooh, here we are, Caz's Corner. Don't even need to get vaccinated. You can just join it and fly where you want. So we have got some results, haven't we? Turkey has finished. And Fenerbahce beat Galatasaray in the 3-game series. So Satu
smoked them.
So?
Sorry, just shouting, smoked them.
Oh, they did. They really did. And they're probably a bit annoyed they had to wait 3 months to do so after that layoff that they had. Satu and co flying back to the States for the WNBA season, and then some of them back to Europe for Eurobasket Olympics 3-on-3 qualifiers. But Fenerbahce, I think that is their, I want to say 6th title in a row.
You are unfortunately on your own, bud.
Let's say they've won 6 titles in a row, and
let's say that.
They've won a lot. And they had an unbeaten season domestically. Obviously lost 1 or 2 in Eurobasket League.
2. They lost 2 in EuroLeague
because they were in was it Avenida's group, I think.
No, they lost. Did they lose a game in that group? I thought they swept until Avenida swept. Oh, so I know they lost to Galatasaray in the semis, second leg. We'll double check that.
But okay, look, I don't think.
Thanks, Steve.
I'll get it the other way around. Thank you. I don't think Satu played in the last couple of games, but Kayla McBride has just been fantastic, just leading that team. And seeing her in Minnesota this season is going to be really exciting. We finished Spain last week, I think.
Oh,
so I think
correction on you. Sorry there, bud. Satu did play the last game. She played 19 minutes, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 9 points. There we go.
And Kia Stokes, if I remember, had quite a big game as well.
8 points, 18 rebounds, 8 offensive rebounds. I hope we've not just spoiled stat line of the week, but holy boats, that is big in a deciding game for them.
Yeah.
Awesome job. Kanatra Hollingsworth was the big player for Galatasaray, 17 points.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Would you like to see my stat line of the week?
Oh, let's do it. But first, big shout Kennedy Leonard, the BJA Player of the Year award. Shout out as well to the main man, Mansour Ahmed, for that picture.
And Anna Shaw's leg.
Oh, yeah. And, of course, Nicolette Fong-Lu-Ki, the legend. Right, go on, Caz. Let's get you a stat line of the week. I'm not going to press the button. I'm going to just sit back and wait for it to happen.
Okay. So, not as many games going on. Sometimes quite difficult to find stat lines at the moment. But we have got 2 repeat players who were with us last week in stat line of the week in Iceland. So Hayden Palmer, last week, she had a triple-double. And we were like, you don't see that many triple-doubles, do you, in games? And then she's like, well, okay, have another one. Have my 4th triple-double of the season. So Hayden Palmer in Iceland for Snaefell in an 81-75 win over Breidablik in overtime, had 27 points, 22 rebounds, 11 assists, 3 steals, and played the full 45 minutes. Vida MSA, who is on her team as well for Snaefell, 21 points, 23 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, and went 8 of 11 from 2. Then Samantha Logic in Luxembourg. This was a semi-final game. So she plays for Residence, and they won 64-61 over Musel Pikes. I don't know if that pronunciation is correct. Sorry. 26 points, 24 rebounds, 6 offensive, 8 assists, and 1 steal. So,
I've just looked at this Snaefell game.
Mm-hmm.
This Snaefell Breidablik. They did that with 6 players.
Yeah.
Good God. And the 2 players that didn't play, coach's decision. What? Make it make sense.
Play a
Sorry, this is mildly cheating because I've just seen Hayden Palmer's rank score, and that is just stupid. Let's see. You keep doing this, mate. You've got to change the order because Hayden Palmer is the number 1 stat line of the week.
How
many offensive rebounds? How many offensive?
How many offensive? She had 3 offensive.
Only 3.
Yeah.
How many did Samantha Logic have?
She had
Great
6
name, by the way.
Isn't it? Yeah. She had 6 offensive rebounds in a game 1 semi-final win.
So that's semi-final, and these 2. This is like the last regular season game before before the semi-final. I've got to go. Hayden Palmer.
Yeah.
I've got to go Hayden Palmer. Doing everything. 3 steals, a 50 efficiency. That's stupid.
4 triple doubles this season,
and they're doing that with 6 players.
Yeah,
that's just ridiculous. Haldor Steingrenson, you are a loose cannon, my friend. Loose cannon.
What did she have?
No, that's the coach, and he's.
Oh, sorry, right.
That's the coach. He's just like, yeah, don't need to play these 2 players.
She's like, Hayden can play 50 minutes.
Yeah, she played 50 minutes. Esme Vida played 42 minutes. Rebecca Karlsdottir played 42. Tina Alexander Dottir played 41. And then the other 2 players split about 30 minutes each. That's just ridiculous. Good God. In fact, the other team are much better. We've got 42, 40, 38, 33, and then 21, and then he used the bench a bit.
It's like Kurt Miller's their inspiration.
Isn't it? That's great. I love that. We need to find Icelandic basketball. We need to watch Icelandic basketball.
We do, because it's just wild. Icelandic and Kosovo basketball, some of the stat lines in this are just crazy.
Yes. Good stuff. Hayden Palmer.
Hayden Palmer.
Doing the business. That's ridiculous. They had no bench points, Snake Eyes. They had no bench points. So, this isn't very entertaining podcasting right now, but geez, man, just look at these numbers. That's outrageous. Good stuff. Now, you mentioned Turkey. We've also had games in Italy. It's 2-1. Venezia Schio.
Oh, that's today.
Oh, we've got today. Oh,
let's do that thing where we watch the game live on a box score.
Now, my guess is that the basketball game has already finished.
You would think so.
You would think so, knowing how the Lega Basket Feminile.
So this is Temi Fagbenle and Natasha Howard against, I think so. Shire started with a few players. They had Natasha Cloud. And
I can tell you right now, they've got Sandrine Gruner, Kim Mester, Julian Harmon, Francesca Dotter, like not the big names that they started with. Sorry to talk over them, but
no, yeah, they had like Natalia Chonwa and Natasha Cloud started the season and left after a while.
They did indeed. Right, a bit of a digging around situation.
Okay.
I can tell you that in the last game, won by Skios, 90-89. Firstly, let's see how Temi did. Temi started on the bench, 14 minutes. She got 4 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Natasha Howard, 25 points, 5 rebounds. And Beatrice Atura, 21 points. So some nice scorelines there. Who did the business? It was Sandrine Gruder, 25 points. And Kim Mester, 19 points, who really did the damage. But it looks like a really good team performance from both sides, to be honest.
With a spot that close as well.
Good.
Oh, do you want the result from this game?
Yes, you found it. Excellent.
I have 67-65 Shio.
Oh my God! We're headed to game 5, people.
5.
Headed to game 5. That is outrageous. When is game 5?
Nobody knows.
I'm going to click this, and it's not going to tell me, is it?
No.
Why would it?
Sunday.
Tell a lie. It's 16th. We're going to see it
Sunday.
On Sunday. Yes. Ooh. Let's try and find that.
Those games have been, so that was a 2-point win. Last game before was a 1-point win. The one before I think was around the same. That's 2 really evenly matched teams.
Yes, I mean they have been all season as well. I think they finished tied at the top of the standings together. Pretty much.
So that probably goes to like
Schio lost 2 games. Venezia lost 1. They both had 24 points each. 24 wins each. I apologize. Yeah, there it is. 67-65. Oh my goodness. Let's just check the game 1, game 2 score. Oh no, game 2 was a beatdown. It was 72-52 for Venezia. Kim Mester didn't start that game, or Mestarg. I think I may be pronouncing it wrong. All right. So is that all of our leagues covered? Yes, we've done all of our brackets that we were going to do today. We'll just get the Icelandic one on there for you next week, don't you worry, fans.
And there are now 53 minutes until the WNBA roster cuts need to be made. If anybody clock watching.
Has anything made anybody do this?
Oh, everything has made everybody do that. That sums up today. Lexi Brown has been cut by Chicago. Shatori Walker-Kimbrough, Kalani Brown waived by Atlanta. Asia Durr is unfortunately on the suspended list because of ongoing COVID issues that she's had for the second season running. Angel McCoughtry had a horrible injury the other day in a preseason game that was televised that wasn't televised, so nobody could watch. The cuts are brutal. This league needs expansion. When you're cutting players of the caliber of Kalani Brown and Lexi Brown, it's madness. It's madness. It's May Madness all the time. Like, we've got to expand these leagues. There's no Lacey Clarendon as well has just been saying earlier. There's no G League equivalent. There's no 3-on-3 to play in. There's no development league. You know, women. I didn't realize this. The teams can't have female players on their practice squads. So there isn't even the chance of a player coming in being a practice player, maybe sticking around the team and getting picked up if there's an injury or somebody else is waived later in the season. Expand the rosters, expand the league. It's madness. Like, please.
It's bad.
It's really bad because the quality of the players it's just up there. And I think it was Carly Samuelson as well saying, you know, the players are good. At that level, there's just not enough spaces. There's not enough seats at the table. Derek Fisher as well saying, you know, there's players that are WNBA caliber players, but there just isn't room for them on the rosters. So there needs to be expansion. I mean, obviously, some of the players will come over to Europe and play, go to Australia, China, but there needs to be something more in the WNBA as well. Especially now, we're in a position where teams are going to start the season. Some with 9-10 players, and they can get hardship exemptions. You know, injuries can factor into that and things. But a couple of injuries down, your team looks different. You need that expanded roster.
And on the Zoe Big, oh no, she's with the Sparks.
No, she's with the Sparks. Yeah.
It just took ages. I was like, oh my god, is she gone? No, she's not.
I mean, the big, apart from Angel McCoughtry's horrible injury, that looks like, well, it's a season ender before the season's even started, with a ACL and meniscus.
Yeah. So that's not the first time she's had those injuries either. So
yeah, and I don't know if it's the same knee that she's had issues with before, if it's the other one.
No, I don't know that.
But you know, she's saying she's not done with the game. She's posted, you know, it's a setback. She'll be back, and I hope she is. I hope she is, because it's such a blow to her and the Aces, and anyone who wants to watch basketball. But
did we go through all of the roster cuts by the Sky that they made today?
No. So Lexi Brown and
Brittany Boyd Pierce, Alexis Prince, Lexi Brown, Kobe Thornton, and Natasha Mack. Natasha Mack was the 16th overall pick in this year's draft. She was the 4th pick in the second round in this year's draft. Why do we have a 30-player draft? Thereabouts. 36-player draft. If you've got top second-round talent getting cut or waived. Was she waived or was she cut?
Cut, waived. She's been waived, but it amounts to the same thing in this league, because there's, you know, where you can't send her to pass waivers to the G League or whatever. Yeah. It's just so frustrating. Hey, but don't worry, because if you Google WNBA, you get to see a little ticker tape thing, and she got loads of women losing their jobs. Okay, it's kind of cool, but it's like that's so. But the emails that landed in my tray: Chicago waive 5 players, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players, and then I get another email saying, "In case you missed it, search WNBA on Google." I mean,
sure.
Like Lexi, someone's got to pick up Lexi, but someone's got to pick up them all. But like, and this is something. So this is the only upside we can take from injuries, I think, because we hate the injuries. I hate seeing players out. The only upside is maybe another player gets an opportunity that they wouldn't have had otherwise, like we saw in the bubble last year, where players opted out and players were injured, and you know, players get a bit of a breakthrough season, but then So that's great and that's fantastic. And all that does is just make the league even more competitive.
Yes.
You've got someone else in the same position. It's frustrating, but that will be the opportunity. We will get to see someone come through. So maybe I don't know how Vegas are placed with their salary cap, but I wonder if they can pick someone up with the Angel McCoughtry injury. Because Lexi Brown, right? I have her every season. I'm convinced she's going to be the most improved player, and she will be. Just someone sign her. Like, sign her and don't let her get concussions week in, week out like she did last season. And
all right. So what else have we got? We've got the GM survey. Results are in. Here are the results. Las Vegas favored to win the championship. They won the regular season last year. They were the 1 seed. They were swept in the finals. Game 2 was incredible. Was it game 2? Yeah, game 2 was incredible.
Game 2. That was the
game
awesome
3 was one-sided. And game 1 was kind of one-sided too. They think Breanna Stewart is the MVP favorite. I mean, why not? She wins every other award at the moment. Candace Parker viewed as acquisition who will make the biggest impact.
In what sense? Because so Chicago, it would like win sense, because I think like she will, but do you think, say, a Natasha Howard in New York would make New York kind of jump up more because New York really wants a game?
Yeah, I mean, you're taking a reigning WNBA champion and second in the Euro Cup and potentially winning the Italian League, and you're putting her on a team that last year was terrible.
That won 2 games.
Yeah.
So yeah,
they were fun, but they weren't good.
Yeah.
You're putting her into that environment. How is that not the best acquisition? But versus you've got Candace Parker, who's obviously ace, putting her onto a great team.
Yeah.
Like,
unless they win, and then they win everything, and then you're like, well, clearly that has worked. I was just interested. I didn't know what it probably doesn't go into criteria, does it? But it's just... In
fairness, New York selected as most improved team.
Okay.
And the general managers select their WNBA 25th season Mount Rushmore. Ooh, who's on the Mount Rushmore?
Ooh. Cynthia Cooper, I hope, is on the Mount Rushmore.
Right, what we got? We've got Aerie McDonald as the WNBA Rookie of the Year, ahead of Charlie Collier, Awakwe, and Michaela Onyenwere. Onyenwere. Sorry, my apologies. Also, Dejana Carrington, Shyla Heel, Destiny Slocum, and Aliyah Wilson, also sleeper rookies.
Shyla Heel's going to have a great season because she's going into a fantastic position and she's going to learn from one of the best point guards on the planet.
I don't have Aerie McDonald winning WNBA Rookie of the Year.
I think Hugh was right with his take with Kajra Gondrezic, because she will get the opportunity. In Indiana, she's going to get a lot of playing time, whereas some of the other rookies might not get the playing time that has as much impact. Like, they'll impact in, say, 20 minutes, but I think she'll get like a solid 30.
The player with the greatest hunger to win a championship generated a tie between Washington's Charles and Chicago's Parker. What a bizarre award that is. Diana Taurasi topped the list of best shooting guard. And GMs would have her to take the shot with the game on the line. Seems reasonable.
Yeah.
Arike Agumbawale, the legend, is they reckon is the player getting the best at getting her own shot. Well, yes, because that's what she did in the first season in last year. Chelsea Gray received the most votes as assist maker, was the most flair. Van der Sloot ranked second. Asia Wilson topped Washington's Charles as the player with the best post moves. Bird is going to make the best head coach someday and the player with the best IQ, basketball IQ. Brianne Jones was the named best on-ball defender. Liz Gambage and Brianna Turner shared the honor as the best interior defender. Interesting. Diamond DeShields, Ali Quigley, and Van der Sloot were all honored. Right, DeShields is the best 2-3 swing player. Quigley, best pure shooter, and Van der Sleet, the best point guard. In the underrated category, Ariel Atkins in top spot over Mr. Nafisa Collier. Naming 2 players who are not underrated in any way, shape, or form.
Is Nafisa Collier underrated?
Who's ever said that Ariel Atkins is underrated? I don't know. Underrated is always a weird one for me. Mike Thibault edged Cheryl Reeve as best coach in the WNBA. There you go. Those are some of the highlights.
Okay.
And I can't find their Mount Rushmore. Oh, no. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Let me see.
Cynthia Cooper, baby, on it.
Hang on. Would you stop? Okay. Lauren Jackson, 3-time league MVP, 2-time champion, led the way with 10 votes. Cynthia Cooper, a 4-time WNBA champion and 4-time finals MVP. Diana Taurasi, the league's career leader in points, both regular season and postseason, received 8 votes. 3 players, WNBA career assist leader Sue Bird, 3-time league MVP Lisa Leslie, and 4-time championship winner Maya Moore, tied for 4th and 5th spots with 6 votes each.
Okay.
Wait, what? How does that work? Have you got 3?
The 3 tied.
I don't understand how you can have 3 people tied for 2 spots.
Because if they each had 6 votes.
So then that would, but then you'd all be tied for 4th.
Well, it's probably easier to say 5th and 6th.
But they didn't. They said 4th and 5th. Oh, whatever. Sorry.
So
this is a slightly confusing press release.
I mean, that's yeah. I was trying to pick some award winners earlier, and because the rosters are so in 41 minutes away, I found it quite tricky to pick who I thought was going to be like 6th woman of the year, because you don't know who's coming off the bench. You don't even know what teams look like. Someone sign Lexi Brown, please.
I know why they spoke about 5th. Now I understand. It was using players from the WNBA's first 25 seasons, create your own Mount Rushmore, 2 backcourt, 2 frontcourt, and 1 wild card. So Lauren Jackson was anonymous 1, Cynthia Cooper and Diana Taurasi were number 2, and Bird, Leslie, and Moore were for the 5th spot on this Mount Rushmore.
Okay.
And they've added 1 face to Mount Rushmore. Fair enough. Also, there's a Commissioner Cup. Everybody likes
this is gonna be good.
They all like the cash prize and the fact that it'll be another season storyline. More interesting.
Hey, I like that. And if you are not in the UK, not in Italy, not in China, you can watch those games on Amazon Prime. If you are in other countries.
What do we get on?
We get it on League Pass.
Sweet. Nice.
I assume so. Sorry, that's just me.
Oh, Caz.
Well, it's if they're not going to, they're going to be on League Pass. What's the point in League Pass if you don't show games?
I would love you to ring up the NHL and ask them that exact question. The NHL League Pass is an absolute abomination. It's a disgrace. It's a joke, and it makes me sick. And it's well overpriced, considering that you don't get to watch your team play, whatever.
So my League Pass for WNBA renewed today. It cost me £12.60, so everybody get on that, because £12.
Absolutely. You're just mugging off the WNBA there, mate. You just
really. I want to give them money, but they just don't want to take it.
They think the Mystics will be the most fun team to watch.
Really?
Yes, they do. They think the Chicago Sky are going to be the second most, and then tied at 3rd was literally the rest of the league.
I mean,
except for Atlanta.
Are they not at the top? At the bottom?
No, they're bottom of everybody else.
Atlanta are going to be like one of the most fun teams to watch. How is Kennedy Carter and Ari McDonald not going to be fun? And Courtney Williams? I'm sorry, GMs, you're wrong there. How are they not going to be fun to I disagree with that.
They do not rate Atlanta at all. I'm not seeing Atlanta names or anything popping up here. Good stuff.
I did see Kennedy Carter on a list of players that weren't rookies that would have a breakout season, along with a load of other names. But she was the name that stood out that was picked for Atlanta. It seemed to be a name for each team.
Atlanta Dream have waived Shatori Walker-Kimbrough and Michaela Cowling. They have finalized their roster. There you go. So, they've got a decent roster, Atlanta. Monique Billings, Crystal Bradford, Kalani Brown, Candy Carr, Tiana Hawkins, Tiffany Hayes, Erin McDonald, Cheyenne Parker, Odyssey Sims, Shakina Strickland, Courtney Williams, Elizabeth Williams. That's a playoff team.
It's a lot of guards.
Not crazy, man. Not huge amount. They got 1, 2, 3, 4 forwards, 5 forwards, 2 bigs, 2 centers ish.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a bit guard heavy. That looks like a playoff team to me. But then I guess with this league, they all look like playoff teams.
That's what
you've got Shakina Strickland, you've got Courtney Williams, you've got Elizabeth Williams, who I rate relatively highly. You got your favorite player since sliced bread, Kennedy Carter. You got Tiffany Hayes, who's decent. You got Cheyenne Parker. You got Erin McDonald. That's a good team. Yeah. That's a good roster. But then every roster in this league is a good roster, or it should be anyway. If you're not making a good roster, Los Angeles, you've done something terrible.
Look, hey, LA have got a great roster.
You say
Mecca's on it, Erica Wheeler's on it, Shanae's on it, Amanda Zoe B's on it, Chrissy Oliver. People are sleeping on LA.
Sorry, for some reason, all of my Atlanta Dream emails have been going completely to the wrong folder.
That's really upsetting.
Thanks, Google.
What if there's been exciting Atlanta news?
I know. So annoying.
What if I could have been chatting with Kennedy Carter last night?
Yeah, true. All right. I think that is going to do it for right now. So the plan ahead, we have WNBL, WBBL action this weekend, obviously, WBBL final, and then it's going to be playoffs, semi-finals and final of the WNBL in the 2 weeks after that. And then it's going to be just the WNBA, but then it's a Eurobasket season. It's Olympics.
3-on-3.
Probably the 3-on-3. We've probably got the FIBA America Cup. That's a thing maybe this year, hopefully.
The Paralympics.
Oh, do we have Afrobasket this year?
It would be really good if all these leagues and all these competitions could get together, sort of schedule it so that it all just flows nicely into one thing.
Yes, we may have Afrobasket this year held in Cameroon. It will be 17th to the 26th of September. Lovely. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, we don't need to worry about the baskets until September. Fine. Mm-hmm. Well, that's a relief. So we've got loads coming up. We've got loads to talk about. So yeah. Caz.
And next week we have a very special guest. Next week.
Oh, we do. Are you going to tell the people?
Shall we tell the people?
Yeah. Go on.
Yeah. So joining us next week in a return to the Caz and Daz show is the fantastic Robin Love, who is going to come, and she's training in Loughborough, I think.
Loughborough. Yeah. Is she playing for the Loughborough franchise?
I think it's just a GB camp.
I did see a GB kit on her the other day.
It's the GB camp is up in Loughborough.
So she might not be playing for Loughborough.
No.
Oh, could she play for UEL? You know the pro league they've got coming on.
Yes, that is what she's coming to tell us about.
Yes.
Oh, she's going to play in that. That is.
Who? For who? Who's she playing for?
This is what we need to find out. This is what.
Fingers crossed, Cardiff.
What about? Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Just because I'm Welsh and because Robin Love's a legend.
What's closest to me though?
What are the 4 teams? I've forgotten the 4th team. So you got Cardiff, Loughborough, UEL. What's the other team?
Is it Worcester?
Worcester. Oh, that would be Loughborough then too.
So. But we will get Robin Love to tell us all about it. We had a fantastic time last time, and she's just a great person, and she'll be telling us all about the Paralympic training, what's going on with the new Pro League. It's going to be super exciting.
I am super excited. Cannot wait. Robin Love is awesome. That is appointment viewing. Appointment viewing, I tell you.
Set your reminders now. 8
Yes.
o'clock, Thursday, next Thursday.
20th.
Yeah.
Of May. 2021. And also, in addition, we're going to have loads of WNBA coverage. Talking to, obviously, you've already been talking to a bunch of players, talk to coaches, GMs, maybe. Who knows? And yeah, just keeping you up to date with all things in what should be the best women's league on the planet. And one day, it probably will be. It's got too many flaws right now. Cazzy B, tell us all about where people can find you.
So this Sunday in the WEABL, the Women's Elite Academy Basketball League, if I missed a letter there, the Manchester Mystics Academy are taking on the Charnwood College team at 1 p.m. on Sunday. You can catch that on the Manchester Magic and Mystics YouTube channel. And yeah, listen to me on that. That's not me.
Hello. Yes, that is me. Where am I? I'm doing non-basketball related commentary a little bit. Doing a bit of virtual sim racing in Gran Turismo Sport. If that's your bag and you want to hear me shouting about real racing with less real cars, then check it out over with the Amigos Racing Team YouTube channel. I've had an absolute blast. Some of the races have been amazing. Even Caz, who is not a big motorsport fan, has been watching some and enjoying it. You know, you were enjoying a bit of ART Happy Tea, weren't you?
I was very much, yes. I have to say, didn't know what was going on, but it was very exciting to listen to.
So my commentary didn't clear up like what was occurring then. Okay.
Oh, it did, yeah, but like the terms of racing.
Okay, so a harsh critique there, but probably a fair one. You can also find me on Twitter at AuEdstouch, AuEdstouch. That's it. That's all we have for this evening. It feels like a really bumper show, and I'm going to go and chill out with my dog. Have yourselves a great week, and we'll see you on Thursday.